So here we're sitting in the front seat of my 1999 Dodge Ram 2500 Cummins powered pickup truck. And I'm finally addressing the last two items on my to-do list from when I bought this truck back in August. This one's a little more priority than the other one. If you remember, the fuel gauge is kind of funky on this, and that's a whole nother video. That's not a big priority because I can follow the odometer. So that hasn't been a huge priority, but that's another video. What this video is about is correcting the speedometer in this 99 Ram pickup. And it's not that it wasn't accurate when I bought the truck, because it was perfectly accurate by comparison to my Garmin GPS device, as accurate as a Garmin is and as fluctuating as a speedometer can be. This truck came with some aftermarket wheels. They were 16-inch wheels with some tires. I don't specifically remember what the size were, but it's not important. Not that I didn't like the style of the wheels that were on here. I didn't really care for the offset in that they stuck out. They made the wheels stick out past the fenders and the confines of the bed of the pickup truck, which to me is a look I was not looking for in this truck. I drive down a lot of dirt roads, through a lot of mud, mud-ish. You know, I don't go mudding in this truck, but you go down a muddy dirt road, and with tires that stick out past your fenders, and your vehicle gets all splattered up. And I'm kind of past that in my point of life right now. I don't really need that. So I went on the hunt. I went on the hunt to buy a set of OEM Dodge wheels. Originally, I was looking for something in the range of what this truck was, which would be 16-inch alloy wheels. And I happened upon a nice set of OEM 3/4 ton wheels from a 2006 Dodge Ram, center caps, everything, with a good set of tires on it. And I'm so happy that I went with that style wheels, because I really think they made the truck look spectacular. However, what they did do was they bumped it from a 16 to a 17-inch rim, and they bumped it to a tire that probably sat 2.5 inches, maybe even 3 inches taller than the original tires. So the current wheels and tires I have on here are 17-inch Dodge OEM wheels, and the rubber that's on here are 285 70/17s. And what we've got going on is when the truck is doing 60 miles an hour by what the speedometer says, my GPS says that I'm doing 67. And that to me is a pretty high priority to get fixed. I don't like putzing around with speeding tickets. I have a commercial driver's license, so I can't go to driving school in California with a commercial driver's license if I were to get nicked for a moving violation. So I'm pretty careful about speed and keeping it, you know, no more than about 5 to 7 miles over the speed limit under normal circumstances. And, you know, we go from there. So, not to mention the inaccuracies of having a speedometer that's 7 miles an hour slow at 60. My odometer's off, my trip set is off. The little computer that calculates everything about fuel consumption and how long you have left in a tank and all that stuff is off. So I wanted to correct that. And I figured it'd be as simple as going to a dealer or going to a local shop and saying, hey, can you fix this? It's just a software issue. And I called, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I called 23 dealers in Northern California and slightly past the Oregon border, almost into Central Oregon, that were kind of in my normal path of travels. And nobody would touch anything 2003 or older. They said, you got to go to an independent shop. So I said, fine, whatever. So I called around independent shops, and they're like, yeah, we don't have the software for that. You got to buy a tuner. I've talked about from the beginning that I wasn't interested in a tuner. I wasn't interested in spending $800, $900, $1,000. Some of them are $1,200 for these tuners that have like a little screen, smartphone screen that you put on your dash, and you get to see all the readout of what your vehicle's doing. But I didn't want to spend $900 or $1,000 plus on that. I already have gauges. I have my glow shift gauges, and I prefer, personally, I prefer rotary gauges, dial gauges with a needle, because I don't need to actually have to read the gauge to know what my truck is doing, where my truck is and what it's doing. I just have to, the peripheral vision, I have to see where that needle sits in relation to the clock position of a rotary dial, and I know whether I'm in a good zone or I'm in a bad zone. It's easy. I don't want to read numbers. I don't want to look at a small smartphone size screen that's stuck to my windshield or nailed to my dash somewhere and have to look through and go, okay, my EGTs right now are 658 degrees. Well, I really don't care if it's 658 or 648. I just want to know if I'm in a good position or if I'm in a meltdown. So I didn't want to do that, right? So, and of course, me being the internet snoop that I am, I waited until Black Friday and I went on the old Amazon site and I found, let me show you what I found. I found a Flash Pack Performance Tuner. Found the Flash Pack Performance Tuner made by Super Chips. And this particular one is a model 3845 Flash Pack F5, which is for Dodge Ram diesels, and I guess this also does gasoline engines as well. But I got this for $283 shipped to my house off of Amazon. And to me, that is night and day cheaper than a speeding ticket. Absolutely well worth the 280 something bucks to get it to my door. And it will do a recalibrate of the speedometer based on tire or gear size, which is all I needed it to do, right? That's all I needed to do. But this does so many more things. Okay, fast forward almost 2 weeks from that last video. That tuner that I just showed you was a dud. And by dud, I mean the website said it would handle a 98.5 up until 2013 Dodge Ram 5.9 Cummins truck. Or just a Cummins truck, right? The diesel Rams. But apparently it isn't that way. And I tried messing with it myself a bunch of times. I finally got onto customer service. Spoke to a gentleman named Tucker who was absolutely patient and very kind. And we messed around for 45 minutes, no exaggeration. The phone call lasted a little more than an hour, but we poked around and prodded around trying to get this thing to talk to my truck. And I would plug it into the laptop and he would send updates and resets and flashes and reprograms via the interweb to try to get my thing to talk to this truck. And then he, I guess, talked to somebody else, and somebody else says, oh no, that's not compatible with the with 98.5 to 2002, I think is what it is, trucks. So I said, well, that's awesome. And he says, well, okay, what you need is you need a 3842 programmer, Super Chips programmer, the 3842. I said, oh, cool, sell me one. And he's like, well, we discontinued that a few years back. He says, you got to look on the interweb and find one that somebody's selling used. So I went on the interweb and I went on the old eBay auction, and yeah, I found this one, factory refurbished. This one was 200 bucks shipped to my house, and it's a factory refurbished unit. Now, I'm not really necessarily happy with this yet. I went on the interweb and I downloaded the update program, which I think is called Spark. The one for the F5 series is Ignition. This one's called Spark, and I couldn't get this one to update. So that kind of worries me already. So let's go ahead, and truth be told, this has been open, right? So let me open this up. It's pretty much got the same crap that the other one did. You know, it's got the instructions, it's got stickers. This is the USB program cable. It's got instructions. Oh, here's another fun thing too. The previous owner, I plugged in the OBD2 port, or the data link connector, and it blew apart into 3 pieces. Wires everywhere. So I went on the interweb and I found out which wires went in which position, and for right now I just have it all zip tied back together. Previous owner neglected to tell me that that thing was no good. So let me sit you down. But I guess that's pretty common for those little plastic clips to fail. So I'm going to plug this into the port. Let's see what we got here, and we'll see if we're going to do a happy dance or we're going to do a frustrated dance. So far, that's a good sign. I guess it turns on. So I don't know. I don't know if you can do it without an update, but I guess we'll find out. So I know we want to do a tune vehicle, yes, because it's got to save. Uh-oh, quick tune. It's got to save the stock settings. Update your programmer, step 1. Can't do that. So let's see. What do we need to do? Select quick tune or advanced tune. Press OK. We're going to do a quick tune. Turn ignition on, but don't start the engine. Well, alrighty then. And press OK to continue. Please make sure the following off: headlights, wipers, radio. Let me turn the radio off here. All right. Okay. Come on, baby, talk to my truck. Please. Yay! Maybe I don't need to update this one. I mean, really, what kind of updates do I need for a 1999 truck? Boy, this is an awful lot of work just to get the speedometer accurate, but this one will do the same thing. This will do different tune levels. I've got performance, heavy load, light load. It does a bunch of stuff with... Nice. We're going to go to advanced settings, right? We can do track performance, economy. Here we go. Tire height. Advanced options. Let's see. Oh, we need to do advanced tune. Most options are optimized using quick tune. Use advanced tune to independently set options. Speed limiter, rev limiter, tire height, axle gear ratio. Okay, so I got to figure out how to back up here. Turn the ignition off. Alright. I'm going to cycle it all the way out to make sure my stock tune is saved in there before I change anything. And again, I'm really not that interested in the performance tunes per se. I might mess around with the economy setting or the light tow setting, just because most of these are controlling the automatic transmission, the shift points, and okay. Now, as I mentioned before, I have 285/70/17s on the truck right now. They're 31-inch tall tires. Advanced tune. I think it's additional features, right? Advanced tune. Advanced options. Let's try additional features. Oh yeah, look. Oh, that's right. It does the check engine light diagnosis and clear codes, which is kind of nice. Well, it doesn't look like that's right, but speed limiter, tire height, vehicle functions. Ignition is on, fool. Oh, let me see something here. Ah, there it is. Yep, that's right. Okay. Tire size. Okay, so I guess my truck is currently set for 29.5 inches. I need 31.25. Okay. Adjusting my drive ratio. Please wait. We're going to go for a drive here in a minute and see if we're calibrated, and then maybe I'll do another video. Do not remove. Okay, okay. Switch ignition off. Press OK to continue. That's an interesting flash pattern. This is interesting too, as it does a data acquisition. Tire size has been updated. Sickness. Well, it's 52 degrees, so it's not really a cold start, but I like my truck. Okay, we'll be right back. Hey, sorry, I got excited and didn't quite do the filming correctly. Looks like we're still about 3 miles an hour fast. Increase the tire size by 1/4 inch. because I'm just screwed up and anal like that. If I'm going to go this far to get it correct, it's going to be spot on correct. So let me pull over for just a minute and we'll bring you back, and this time I'll remember to take some footage of whatever the speed turns out. Alright, we're going to bump the tire size up 1/4 inch. Ignition is on. Let's do 31.5. Let's do all the way up to a 42-inch tire, which is pretty cool. We're going to go 31.5. I'll let that adjust. Alright. Okay, we're 2 miles an hour off right now. Alright, we'll pull over. We'll increase the tire size. Let's try this again. Maybe I was wrong by a full 32? I wrote 31, but we'll give it a whirl. Let's see what it does. $61 on the speedometer, 61 on the GPS. Hell yeah, we're gonna call that a victory. $65, $66. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call that a success. And if that 200 bucks saves me a speeding ticket, man, it is worth every penny and then some. Speedometer, so you got to let everything kind of balance out. You got to hold the speed for several seconds, which is tough with traffic, but $65. We're going to call it good. For as accurate as a GPS is, I know there's a percentage of inaccuracy with the GPS. That gets me close to being exactly where I want to be on this. So I'm going to go home. I've actually got 100 other things I need to do today, but we'll probably, in the next few days, I'm going to play around with this tuner setting stuff, see if I can see what I can see, right? Data acquisition, tuner for different performance stuff, and I'll get back to you guys, let you know. But as far as speedometer calibration, this was worth every dime. I guess it was worth waiting for, because it works now. That's all I care about. All right, gotta go, gotta run. See ya!